Do you know that every living person who has ever been born, who has ever passed through this dimension, has been abused in a certain way? We've all been abused to an extent by someone we love or meet or a family member. But the problem is we've been programmed to believe that the way people treat us at times is okay. Especially in certain cultures, we've been programmed to believe that it's okay for people to treat us in certain ways. But as long as you don't feel good, as long as someone says, does, or acts in a way that consistently that triggers negative feelings within you, or makes you uncomfortable, or makes you start doubting yourself or your self-image, or downs your confidence, you are experiencing abuse. Hi, I am Dr. Jacinta Mpali Nkana, and in this week's session, I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why we remain in abusive relationships. To begin, I'll give you about 5 different forms of abuse, and then share the 6 reasons why we stay in abusive relationships, and then provide a tip that I'm very certain will help you snap out of any abusive relationships if you experience any. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started with the different forms of abuse. And not that this is not an exhaustive list, but at least it will give you an idea of some of the things that someone can do and that could trigger you, and you should look out for these things so that you don't allow anyone to treat you in this way. Number one form of abuse is someone saying lies about you. When someone says lies about you, they have abused your persona. They are probably jealous of you or just want to make themselves feel good by putting you down. Another reason why people lie about others is that they want all their attention to be directed at them. For the most part, they are insecure and don't really feel good about themselves. They believe that by lying about you, others will turn their attention away from their weaknesses and focus on yours. Okay, so someone lying about you, saying lies about you, is a form of abuse. Another form of abuse, number 2, is lying to you. When someone repeatedly lies to you, they firstly do not respect themselves, and the same goes for you or anyone else. Remember, we generally treat others the way we treat ourselves. Most importantly, someone lying to you is a form of abuse. They abuse your intellect by lying. Abuse form number 3, verbal insults. Of course, this is self-explanatory. When someone insults you by either calling you rude names, making negative comments about your self-image, your intellect, or criticizing the way you do things, they are abusing you. And I appreciate that at times someone might say negative things to you, all about you, because they are going through their own drama and aren't nice to anyone, especially to themselves. But if one insults you more than once, they have abusive tendencies. Form of abuse number 4 is judgment and criticism. We've been programmed to believe that it's normal to judge and criticize others, but this is not only wrong, but also implies that we are investing our focus on something that does not and would never promote us. We normally judge others because of what we've either been told about them, subconscious bias if they're different from us, or if they intimidate us. We find a way to judge them, which means making conclusions about them without enough evidence. People are also so accustomed to criticizing others and constantly identifying what they believe is wrong with them. This turns into abuse if one is doing it often and doesn't change even when you bring it to their attention. And the other form of abuse, of course, is physical abuse. This is when someone hits, pushes, or engages in any forceful physical activity that causes you discomfort or bodily pain. Note that one time when someone physically abuses you, just one time, it's enough for you to walk away. Okay, so that's 5 forms of abuse in a nutshell. Number 1, someone saying lies about you. Number 2, someone lying to you. Number 3, verbal insults. Number 4, judgment and criticism. And number 5, physical abuse. Okay, so let's go forward to the 6 reasons why we stay in abusive relationships. The number 1 reason why we stay in abusive relationships is fear. The fear of being alone. For instance, if you're in a relationship, maybe you're married and you have kids and all that. Even if you don't have kids and your husband starts abusing you in any of the forms I have indicated above, you will stay in that relationship because you think he or she is the last person is standing, and you're so afraid of living or being alone. But you forget that this is a world of about close to 8 billion people, and if you let one person go and heal your life, you will certainly be able to attract someone who deserves you. And also, we are so afraid of being judged. You stay in an abusive relationship either at work or in a group because you don't want people to think badly of you. You're so worried about what people think about you. You want to look good. You want to look good in their eyes. You are attached to them, and you just don't want to be judged. So you stay and get hammered with all the abuse. And then the other form of fear is losing the belongingness. For instance, you belong to a club, a group setting, and there are some abusive people in that group. So you stay in the group because you don't want to lose the belongingness. That sense of belongingness. It's part of human nature. So you keep going back and they keep abusing you and making you feel less of who you are. They want you to be someone you're not. They keep criticizing you or bringing you down, and you stay just because that sense of feeling of belongingness is more important to you than your self-worth. So the 3 types of fear, and this is not exhaustive of the other different types of fear. We stay in abusive relationships because we are so afraid of being alone. We are afraid of being judged, and we are afraid of losing that belongingness, that sense of belongingness. Alright, so the second reason why we stay in abusive relationships is a low self-esteem. If you have self-doubt and you don't accept yourself, you don't love yourself, you haven't set standards for yourself, you don't have confidence and faith in yourself, you are going to fall for other people's standards. You're going to lower yourself to fit in. And even if someone is abusing you, you will just say because you believe that that's all you deserve. So low self-esteem is one of the main reasons why we stay in abusive relationships. And then the other reason number 4 is the need for short-term gratification. We don't have faith in life and in God, or we don't have faith in anything. And this, I won't even bring in religion. Let's imagine you're not religious, but if you don't have faith in yourself, and if you don't believe that you can make yourself feel good, you can individually tap into your inner resources and cultivate your own happiness, then you're going to seek out for short-term gratification. If you have a mentality of now, fast, bigger, then you're going to always fall for short-term gratification. So if someone is abusing you but they're probably giving you something else that you like, you just focus on what they're giving you that you like, and then you remain hampered. You keep on being abused because you're probably being entertained in one way or another. Point number 6, that's the 5th reason why we stay in abusive relationships, is codependency. And codependency is literally being in an abusive relationship because that relationship fulfills or feeds a part of you. There is a part of you that enjoys the abuse. There is a part of you that feels the need to be abused. You're comfortable. There is a part of you that is comfortable with abuse, and this is mainly subconscious. Maybe as a child you were abused, or you saw or you witnessed your parents abusing each other, or you grew up in a very abusive environment. That part you developed, you learned how to be abused. You believe that being abused is normal, is part of living. Okay, so you're depending on this person. Because this person is abusing you, this person is feeding you what you want. And then reason number 6 why we stay in abusive relationships is denial. Again, this is a subconscious belief. Again, it's related to the other reason of codependency. When you're in denial, when you have not sat down, when you're not present, when you are busy chasing the wind and you're not present to see what is happening currently, then you are going to be in denial of what's going on. Even if someone is really abusive to you, literally abusive, maybe snacks you, you will find a way to redefine what they did and deny that they abused you, because again, maybe you're feeding a block, a memory in your mind, and you think that people maybe don't abuse you, or it's normal, or whatever else is in your mind that supports others to abuse you. You are in denial, maybe because you are benefiting from this abuse in one way or another, or whatever. There are so many reasons why we get into denial, mainly also because we are abusing ourselves. Maybe, for instance, if you're an alcoholic and your partner maybe is a drug addict and he's abusing you, but because you're an alcoholic, you deny that he's abusing you because you are already abusing yourself. Okay, so the 6 reasons why we stay in abusive relationships, once again, is number 1 is fear. The fear of being alone, the fear of being judged, and the fear of losing that sense of belongingness. Reason number 2 is low self-esteem. Number 3 is the need for short-term gratification. Number 4 is codependency, feeding the beast within you. I think that's number 5. And number 6 is denial, subconscious blocks. I hope I got them all. Fear, losing belongingness. Fear, losing belongingness. Number 2, number 3, low self-esteem. Number 4, short-term gratification. Number 5, codependence. Number 6, denial. Okay, so you got the reasons. Now let's go to a very powerful tool that you can use to snap out of abusive relationships. Number 1, yield. If someone is acting in a way that is a matter of choice and it doesn't trigger negative feelings within you, yield. Let them be. Don't attach. Don't expect, Don't feel the need for them to act in a way that you want. And this might be a little bit complicated, but sometimes you might feel like someone is abusing you because they are not doing what you want. But that's not abuse. I think probably I should have explained what's not abuse, but that's a long list. So yield. If someone is doing certain things that is a matter of choice, maybe they are not exercising, or they are not, maybe you're living with your partner and they choose not to exercise, or they choose to do certain things, maybe not to have a shower every day, or they choose not to, they choose to eat in bed. If it's a matter of choice, or someone chooses to use the elliptical instead of the staircase, then it's a matter of choice. As long as it's not affecting your personal standards, let them be. Lose the control. However, if they are abusing your standards, if someone is abusing your standards, depending on what standards you've set for yourself, like your self-esteem, if you believe in yourself and someone is coming to you and telling you how irrelevant or stupid you are, if someone is abusing you and triggering negative emotions within you, triggering self-doubt and self-criticism, then walk away. Remember, you are not going to try and change anyone. You cannot change anyone. You cannot heal anyone unless you're a therapist or a healer. So the idea, if someone is abusing your standards or is crossing the line, walk away. Let me tell you, don't be afraid of being alone. You would rather be alone than being hit left, east, and center in abusive relationships. You know, sometimes even on Facebook or social media, you find all these so-called friends who start attacking you and insulting you, criticizing you, and then you focus on the number. Maybe you have 5,000 followers or friends, and you don't want to delete this person because you will lose that publicity of having 5,000 friends, and then you take it. That is so self-abusive of you, you know. Walk away. We are over 8 billion people. I'm sure you can find friends who appreciate you and love you for who you are. So the tip in a nutshell, if you're in a relationship, first of all, know what is not abuse. If someone is acting in a way that is a matter of choice, yield, meaning that let them be. Don't put it upon yourself to change them. Don't try and individualize it. Don't, and maybe I'm getting off point a little bit, but I just wanted to bring to your notice that sometimes we might feel abused because people have taken their own choices. They've chosen to do things differently. They've chosen to do things differently from how we do them. So yield, let people be. Don't try to control. However, if someone is abusing your personal standards and is crossing the line, walk away regardless of what reasons you have. Even if you're married and you have kids, it doesn't matter what reason it is. If you feel insulted, if you're in company with someone who makes you feel, who triggers feelings of self-doubt, walk away. Okay? I know these tips are gonna help you. Now, I urge you to subscribe to my channel. Why is that? Because you will be the first to receive periodical counseling or life coaching tips, and also because you can subscribe. It's as easy as that. For all my subscribers, thank you so much for hanging on and for supporting me all these years. Now, if you're looking for a transformational coach or a counselor specialist in codependency and addictions, please send me an email on the link below or the email contact address below. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I'm sending you God's love and light.